Jose.
Right. So exactly. So of course, we're encouraging. Now, Jose's doing his job by protecting Casey, and we understand that. But at the same time, ourselves, investigators, we not only want what's best for Casey, we want what's best for Kaylee. So if there's any information that we can get out there, we're encouraging that to happen. Nothing has happened.
To that end, how difficult is it for you to go in there and talk to your sister, knowing that she can't say everything and you can't say it?
Right. Oh, it's very difficult. I mean, it's like kind of having, your second half or your right arm, someone that you're used to, or something that you're used to using or seeing, on a, whatever basis that you wanted, someone that you could confide into both ways. And I mean, there's personal stuff that's going on with me throughout all this that I'd love to be able to confide in my sister, because it's something that we've always done with each other, and because we don't want things speculated on and reported falsely and things like that. I mean, we choose to bottle it up and internalize a lot of it, and it has that effect on my mother, or friends and family, whatever. They have a tough time dealing with it. So it's hard. It's very hard.
You have a birthday that you're going to be celebrating this Saturday. How can you possibly do that without her being here?
Well, if that's the case, if she's not here at the time, then we'll deal with it. And if she's here at the time, we'll deal with it. I mean, there's going to be a plan that we're going to celebrate her third birthday regardless. Now, the extent of all that, being my mother and father's house, they're of course going to set up whatever it is. I've of course given them my encouragement on what we should do. We should keep it very just kind of close knit, as we do a lot of things when we're dealing with family and personal items, and just to make sure that we're all because that's going to be an important day for all of us.
What can you tell us about some of the things your research has provided to you? I mean, I've been doing my own research.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody is.
Just because, I'm starting to have nightmares and everything else.
Yeah.
It seems that Casey's a very gregarious person, makes friends with people, when she meets them, Is there a concern that she was maybe too trusting with some brand new people that she met, or where is your research leading you?
Well, to speak specifically on on that, I mean, I think that's kind of my nature. I know that's my sister's nature too, that we're very open and very interpersonal with people brand new. I mean, we take a lot of people at face value for what they're doing. So of course that opens up the window for if somebody had ulterior motives to take advantage of that. Now, to speak specifically to this situation, is that something that it's everything is a possibility right now is probably the easiest way to put it. Until I could hear something specific, something definitive, specifically, from or through my sister, and you guys know the situation with that, it's very difficult. So in the meantime, knowing how my sister works, because I work the same way with a lot of that, I'm trying to think about all that, because these are things that when you try to convey them to investigators or try to convey it to somebody else, it's hard for them to completely grasp what I'm trying to say. So I found the best way is to, along with them in parallel, follow up and do my things too, and then kind of give my 2 cents on it. And it's actually, I think it's improved, and I'll let, of course, the investigators speak to that more, but I think the relationship that myself personally and that my folks have had with them, especially over the last week or so, has been great. It's been a very good encouragement on how we need to move forward, so we can get the information right to find where Kaylee is, and then obviously everything with my sister will be worked out.
For a national audience that may not know this community well or understand how downtown Orlando is, or just in general the transient nature, tourists coming in, random people coming in, how would you describe any concern or highlight, sort of lay the land a little bit for a national audience about in what setting this missing child, how this sort of may have happened?
Right. Well, I mean, Orlando, this area, UCF area, which is 20 minutes away from here. I mean, our residence here is kind of a hub of everything, when it comes to Central Florida. Central Florida is very unique, where you can, within 20 minutes, you can be at an airport, at a major college, at, one of 4 different major malls. you know, there's plenty of places to go, plenty of, you know, new people to meet, and because of that, it obviously attracts a lot of people from out of town, from all different, you know, backgrounds and, you know, ethnicities and all that kind of stuff, and that's what makes Orlando great. But at the same time, as it relates to this case, of course, it gives the opportunity that, you know, not only for myself, but for my sister, whatever, we're able to meet all different kinds of people from every walks of life. So that's, I guess, because of our setting, it makes it maybe that much more difficult to try to figure out and track, you know, what had been going on or what continues to go on, you know, as this kind of unfolds. So I guess that's what's made it a little difficult, because if we were in the sticks in a way, you know, it'd be, you know, everyone kind of knows everybody. It might be a little a little easier to figure some of that stuff out. So I think that's what everybody's kind of running into, is, you know, just trying to make sure if anybody had any
Can you discuss, was your sister in any sort of like financial trouble? I mean, was she banking at an AMSCA, or did she have a real bank?
I don't know if she had actually done anything at that AMSCA other than actually bringing, you know, pretty much pushing her car there after she ran out of gas. So aside from that, I don't know if there's anything else from there. I've not been able to figure that out. To my knowledge, no transaction had been made there from her, but a lot of that stuff's confidential. They wouldn't give it to me anyway. So that's obviously the problem, where myself or anybody else, it's not law enforcement, trying to follow up on leads. You know, it's kind of hard to do that because we don't have the resources or the legal means to go about a lot of this. That's why we still encourage everybody, when you send in your tips, don't send them to us, send them to the police. The good thing is, the police, we work together. So if they want opinion, or if they need help in something, it's not been out of the normalcy for them to reach out to me, or to reach out to my father or to my mother and say, hey, could you follow up on this in a different way? Because of course we have established relationships with so many different people in the community, and we want them to utilize us just like we want, you know, we're all resources to finding Kaylee, and we understand that, and we want to do whatever we can to do that. So
can you correct, for the record, why Casey left home to begin with? Some say it was just to go on a work business trip. Others say she was kicked out of the house because she did something bad. Others say she got in a fight with your mom and was just trying to get her own place. Can you sort of correct that at all?
Yeah, I can tell you the latter two of those is completely incorrect. The first one is close. Casey left the house with Kaylee on the morning of the 16th of June to not only, because she was still working, you know, at that time, to not only work, but then also to take, she had some vacation time. So to take some vacation time so she can kind of, you know, spend time with Kaylee and all that stuff, you know, go to the beach, you know, go to theme parks, whatever a mother and daughter would do. Of course, her intention were to spend time, you know, with Kaylee.
So you can confirm the last time Casey saw Kaylee was the 16th?
Yes.
Where was she working?
She's been working for a specific company, which I've been asked not to disclose, as an event coordinator, working in conjunction with Universal Studios.
Like a promotions marketing
something
company.
like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
A company contracted out.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
That makes sense, because in one of the calls she said to you she had to go to Universal, and you're like, oh, that makes sense, but you wouldn't say on the phone what it was.
Right. There's, I mean,
she wasn't going there hanging out.
Right. When it comes to the right, when it comes to specific things for the investigation, obviously the police are only going to release what they need to release. Of course, we're being advised from them on what to say and what not to say and all those kind of things too. And we're doing that to maintain the integrity of the case and maintain the integrity of finding Kaylee. And remember, that's what it's all boils down to. So
and this was seasonal or ongoing employment?
From what I've been able to see, it's been ongoing for throughout this year. I haven't really had a reason to look any further back.
This isn't color vision. This is something.
No. This is something completely different. So.
And at the same time, she was helping Tony with Fusion.
Yes, and that was a little more. Exactly. Not on the, because remember, he's a contractor through them, so same type of a thing.
But she wasn't on the payroll with the same person Anthony Tony was.
No.
She was just helping
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No.